in my heart, I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till Jesus comes. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing till the Spirit
who Ishmael is.
moves in my heart. I'm gonna sing.
This is the Zondervan Pictorial Dictionary. Okay? It says on page 387, one of the descriptions of an Ishmaelite. Ishmaelite. It says, the word is apparently used in the Old Testament in the wider sense, referring to the nomadic tribes of northern Arabia. Generally, then it says, all Arabs, following Muhammad's example, claim descent from Ishmael. Okay? So here you had a father of the Arabs. Now, it said Muhammad, out of him we have, who was of the tribe of Quraysh, we see that religion of Islam. Okay, that so many of our people, the true Israelites, have gone after, which is a bunch of foolishness. Okay, but it says, nevertheless, verse 12, in describing him, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And you see that today, brothers and sisters. Even, and again, I'm not against Arabs. I'm not against anybody. Okay? But it's the scripture describes him as a wild man. His hand will be against every man. And you see that even until this day. And how even, and I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to fight for his land. That's not even what I'm getting at. But you see the willingness in him to fight against, you see 13-year-old, 12-year-old, and even younger children than that. In Palestine, look at them throwing rocks at tanks. You see them fighting against insurmountable odds. You see them, they are great warriors. In their history, they are great warriors. And you see that warrior spirit in them until this day. Wow, man, how they fight is wow. To blow yourself up to kill somebody else is wow. I'm not saying all Arabs do that. I'm saying that is some of them. Okay? That is some of them that would do that. Okay? Because truth be told, even them who follow a religion that I don't believe in show more righteousness than many of the so-called Christians. Okay? But let's go to Genesis the 17th chapter and the 20th verse to find out who the covenant is with. To find out if it was with covenant, if it was with Ishmael. This is Genesis 17 and 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful. This is talking about Ishmael now. And will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. And you see that even until this day. Those princes. And you have another one with Egypt now. Okay, because they have conquered Egypt. Verse 21, it says, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac. And you know, out of Isaac came Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, who is our forefather, not Ishmael. Nor was the covenant made with Ishmael. It was made with Isaac. It said, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. Okay? So let's go to Genesis, the 22nd chapter. Okay? Because here, out of Isaac's seed, we're going to see Isaac's seed. Matter of fact, let's go to, well, first of all, I'll make this distinction that God makes. Because he calls one his son. Okay? This is Genesis, the 22nd chapter and the first verse. It says, and it came to pass after these things, that God did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, behold, here I am. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah. Okay, and he goes on, but he says, get your son, your only son. Now he had Ishmael. Why did he call Isaac his only son? Because that's the only one he was recognizing, in the sense of with his covenant. That's the one he made a covenant with. Okay, I just want to point that out. He calls him his only son. Let's go to Genesis, the 25th chapter, because we want to look at Isaac's seed, who was Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. All right? This is Genesis, the 25th chapter and the 19th verse. It says, And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. Okay, I'm going to skip down to verse 21. Or 20, I'll just read it. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, brothers and sisters, the claim was made in that address that Minister Farrakhan gave that this is talking about the white man. Brothers and sisters, this is not the white man. This was Esau. And how can it be the white man and this is through Shem? See, this is not talking about the white man. Let me show you. Just hold your place. I want to show you, because we might come back there to Genesis 25 and we might not. But in Genesis 10, we find out where Caucasian or white people came from, or the European. Came from Japheth, not Shem. Okay? Those 2 people, they were 2 nations, but they were still Semitic nations. Alright? Just like even H.G. Wells had enough sense to call the Arabs Semitic. They were from Shem. This is Genesis 10 and 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphah, and Togarmah. Okay? You got all these people like Gomer. It's more than likely they were the people who the Celtics descended from. And Magog, the Scythians. Okay? Or the Medes. You got all these in Javan. He says, the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dardanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after their tongue, after their families, in their nations. Okay? These are all Gentile nations. And you know the Gentile nation, you can identify them because that's who the Apostle Paul was sent to. He was sent to the Gentiles. Those were European nations. Okay? So we know that's the Europeans' father or progenitor was Japheth. It wasn't Shem. So this couldn't possibly be the white race against the black race. Brothers and sisters, that is not what's taking place. That is not the right. That's Esau. That's Esau. Okay? And matter of fact, I want to show you something else. It is Esau and it is Ishmael who fight over the land of Israel even until this day. Because Esau is the one who's crept in. You can read in history what Edom was, which is another name for Esau. They ceased to exist in 70 A.D. Why did they cease to exist in 70 A.D.? Is it coincidence that that was the same year in which that was the end of Israel and the Israelites in the land in Jerusalem from 66 A.D. to 70 A.D. when they were ransacked by Titus? No, that's not a coincidence, brothers and sisters. Those people simply moved in. Just like if you have an abandoned house, somebody will come in and squat in your house and claim that house to be theirs. It's the same thing. Okay? Once we were spewed out of the land for disobedience, hey, they came in. But they came in and claimed the name. See? Again. Because when you read about, we'll go back there, but when you read about Esau, he was the firstborn. Hey, but again, the covenant was made with Jacob. He's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Okay? And Esau was that son that didn't get what he wanted, just like Ishmael was that firstborn son. But yet the covenant wasn't made with him. And these are the ones who fight over that land today. Matter of fact, let me show you that. This is Psalms, the 83rd Psalm, division of Psalms. It says, keep not thou silence, O God. This is verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. In verse 5 it says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Now who is he talking about? The tabernacles of Edom. Now Edom is Esau.